Today I get to talk about KEF's new luxury all-in-one home audio system, the LS Luxe powered speakers. Now the name may sound a bit like KEF's LSX2 speakers, but they're much more comparable to the LS50 Wireless 2 in both their size and performance, while the pricing goes beyond those speakers at a cool $4,000. Now before we go any further, we've got to talk about the design here. These rounded speakers, they're bound to be divisive for some folks. But personally, I found them gorgeous from the moment I saw the marketing material to unboxing them and putting them on my stands. I think they really zhuzh up the living room. My wife, who also liked them, put them a little bit more concisely than my statement that they're art pieces, calling them simply cute little eggs. Now, I think a big part of that has to do with the matte white color that I got. That's the egg thing going on here, and KEF calls that mineral white. But you can also get them in Eclipse Black and a glossy finish called Dusk Titanium. Now, apart from their design, there's no question the Luxe offer incredible performance, including musical, sometimes menacing bass, and utterly transparent, almost concrete precision in the upper registers. They're also packing plenty of brand new tech designed to outdo the LS50 Wireless 2, as well as pretty much any other powered speaker I've tested recently. But the real question here is, are they worth $4,000? Let's get into it. All right, now let's get into the numbers, and there are a lot of numbers for these speakers, starting with the size of around 13 by 9 by 12 inches per speaker, with a total weight between the two of around 44 pounds. Now within each of these cabinets is KEF's 12th gen uni-q driver system, which is designed to align the tweeter and the woofer for better accuracy. You're getting a 6.5 inch aluminum cone woofer, a 1-inch aluminum dome tweeter, and those combine for a total frequency response of 42 Hz to 28 kHz, and that depends on EQ there. Now, the unique shape of these cabinets, which are bulk molding composite, comes from Ross Lovegrove, who you may know as the person behind the Muon floor standing speakers from KEF, which are crazy looking, crazy expensive. But there's also a ton of tech built inside that bulk molding compound, and it borrows a lot from the LS50 Wireless 2, including KEF's Meta material absorption tech, the matte tech, which is designed to remove 99% of unwanted sound. There's also, like the LS50 Wireless 2, the Music Integrity Engine DSP, which is an algorithm designed to keep the sound accurate right down to phase correction within the cabinets. But the Luxe go even further with some new technologies, including the new VECO system. Now the VECO system is designed to measure the speed of each driver's movement and actually compensate for it in real time. And there's also the current drive amplifier system, and that is designed to regulate the amplification to create a constant power flow, again, to reduce distortion. Now you're seeing a theme here. They're trying to reduce the distortion, and I gotta say, although it sounds a lot like marketing speak, it really seems to work, because if there is any, I certainly couldn't hear it. Now speaking of the amplifiers, the internal system includes a total of 280 watts of Class D amplification for the two woofers, and a total of 100 watts of Class AB for the two tweeters. As for the inputs, you're getting HDMI eARC, optical, coaxial, 3.5mm, Ethernet, and a subwoofer out. Real quickly, I want to talk about the 3.5mm. Now, most speakers at this size, you're going to expect a phono stage. At this price, I should say. You're going to expect a phono stage, but these don't even offer an RCA connection, which is kind of annoying, because if you want to connect your turntable, you're going to have to go out and buy an adapter for that. It's not a big deal. You can just get it on Amazon, a local electronics store, but kind of annoying. All right, let's talk about the streaming. You're getting Apple AirPlay, Google Cast, Spotify Connect, Tidal Connect, and some of those other services, as well as Internet Radio and Bluetooth 5.3. Now, KEF also says Roon support is coming, but not until 2027, so we'll have to wait on that. As it should be with a high quality pair of powered speakers, setting up the KEF Luxe is very simple. Just follow the quick start guide, power them up, and download the KEF Connect app, which will get them connected to your network. Now the KEF app is easy to use, it's simple to manage basic functions, but I really do like that the KEF Luxe come with this, a nice remote. It's got a nice feel to it, and it comes with all of the input keys right here, so you can just quickly get to any input. That's really nice, especially because the Luxe do not come with an onboard control bar, so you're really going to need this as a backup when you're not using the app. And it makes it really simple But most importantly, the KEF worked just as I expected them to throughout a couple of weeks of review, which is not something I can say for all speakers of this kind. When it comes to performance, the operative word here is clean. I'm not sure I've met a pair of speakers that more readily embodies that word. There's a feeling of total precision that's carried through every instrument, effect, element, decrescendo, crescendo. It's just a constant throughout. And one other thing that's a constant is that the silence between the notes is just as stunning and remarkable as the notes themselves. Their precision also tends to sort of leave you with whatever is on the page. There's no sympathetic distortion or warming here. What the artist gives you is pretty much what you're going to get, and that's especially true with TV sound, where good mixes sound very good, but mediocre recordings don't always feel as elevated as you might expect at this price. Now that said, I was able to sort of break down different films and even scenes within a film by their mix quality. In the movie Fallen, for instance, on Netflix, obviously there's some compression at play here, but I was still able to tell really great recordings, really good effects, and not the best dialogue as well. Like in one instance, Denzel was obviously doing outdoor dialogue, and they had obviously dubbed his counterpart and you could hear it. Now, if you listen to something that's better mixed, like my replay of Red Dead Redemption 2, the speakers rise to even better heights. Now, the word visceral gets overused a lot, but it really is a visceral experience. You feel like you're sort of falling into the world with the horse hooves hitting, bridges with a woody goodness, crushing gravel. You're feeling the whipping of the weeds against you. Even the whistle for your horse sort of feels musical. It's a performance that can sometimes be more subtle in different genres than something like the Sevens 2 from Klipsch, which are a little bit more stylized and brutish, but when it's good, it's really good. Now, as you can imagine, the Luxe are best for music. Going back to my point about the clean sound, the more I listened across genres, the more amazed I was by the Luxe's sheer neutrality. Now, I won't go so far as to say they don't have their own sonic identity, which they do, but they're less identifiably KEF as a lot of the other speakers I've tested from the brand. And that kind of transparency sort of makes them chameleons to move between genres, whether it's hip hop or acoustic music, jazz, electronica, or even my white hot 80s playlist. They really lean into the sound, and they do so with a sort of effortless touch up top. It's never strident, it's never harsh, it just gives you the clarity without giving you the bad stuff too. The bass is defined and rigid, it's actually really fast when the transients hit. It's not going to be a full subwoofer low, but it's going to go a lot lower than something like the LSX2. And in songs like Anderson .Paak's Milk and Honey, you really feel the potency down there and the power along with that speed. Now, up above, treble is clear and lyrical and precise, where the mid-range can be a little forward, a little, it's very present. Sometimes it can be a little thin, sometimes it's more full-bodied. Again, it just sort of depends on the mix. Now, the stereo image is wider than the profile suggests, but doesn't blow away cheaper speakers. In fact, really what I noticed was it's kind of a narrower sweet spot, and the best part about the mix, the best part about the image, I should say, is how immersive it is. It really sort of draws you in. I started thinking of them as sort of like a Stargate that brings you into the track, brings you into the TV. So that's really a fun thing that they do. Okay, so the bottom line here, the question we asked at the beginning is, are the speakers worth the money? Now, of course, a lot of that is going to depend on your budget, and I think you can get a lot of brilliant play from within the KEF family. Now, I'm thinking about, again, the LSX2, which I've mentioned a couple times here. You pair those with a subwoofer, and you've got a really nice 2.1 system. Does not rise to the level of the Luxe, but for the money, it's a really good system. I also think there's a good argument for the KEF Meta R3. The R3 Meta, I should say, which are three-way speakers, which have really good bass, bigger bass than the Luxe, and they're really hard to beat for their price point, especially if you pair them with a great network amplifier. You might even be able to come in below the KEF Luxe on those, and you're getting a bigger, sort of more bassy speaker for your money. I also really have to shout out again, Klipsch's the Sevens 2. At half the price, they offer a similar layout, even more inputs, and really good sound for your money. In fact, I think they're the best TV speakers for the money, and they're great for music too. All that said, the KEF Luxe are phenomenal speakers. Their design is as unique as anything I've tested, and their sound is definitely going to grow with you for years to come. Are they worth $1,000 more than the current LS50 Wireless 2? That's a tougher call. Probably not for most folks. There is some diminishing returns going on here, but you're also paying for the design on top of the great performance, and diminishing returns are just something that you have to deal with in the audiophile community to some degree. I think if you're in this budget tier though, the KEF LUXE are definitely worth considering. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you'll like it. If you did in fact like the video, we hope you will subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you again next time.